My professional journey in search started in 1990 when I came to the United States from India as a young computer science graduate student to study search with some of the pioneers of the field. And today, I'm responsible for search at Google. It has been an incredible journey. And after 25 years of working in search, the question people ask me most often is, what keeps you going? Now, before I answer that question, let me tell you a story. Somewhere in the United States, a young couple was blessed with a beautiful daughter. Soon after their child was born, she developed severe allergies to most foods. When their daughter turned 1, their doctor prescribed them half a tablet of Claritin, a commonly prescribed anti-allergic medication, to be given to the child every day. One day, soon after the child learned how to walk, she discovered several bags, unopened bags of diapers in her room. Guess what the child does next? She pushes those diapers next to a tall dresser, climbs up these makeshift steps, discovers an unopened package of Claritin in the top drawer, and yes, eats all 10 of them. Not in a million years did her parents ever imagine that a 1-year-old would be able to get into the top drawer of a tall dresser. When they found their child licking the empty packaging, the parents just realized that their child had overdosed on medication. After a frantic call with the doctor, they rushed their daughter to the nearby hospital, which was 20 minutes away. Those 20 minutes were the toughest 20 minutes of my life. I can still remember that feeling as I stand here today, because there's nothing more scary than the thought of losing your child. In those 20 minutes, I wish someone had told me that the chances of something really bad happening are extremely low. Today, that information is just one search away, so that parents don't have to spend 20 minutes in a car scared to death for the future of their child. Now, thankfully, our daughter is a happy, healthy teenager attending Cornell University. And now we exchange notes about how the Cornell party scene has changed in the last 20 years since I left Cornell. So back to what keeps me going. The answer is simple. I have seen firsthand how information can completely transform people's lives and empower them to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life every day. And today, we have the opportunity to bring to everyone in this world more information than was available to the elite few just 20 years back. Yes, search has come a long way since Google started in 1998. But our mission has always been the same, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. When I started at Google 15 years back, the information revolution was just starting. Searching meant a bulky computer on a slow dial-up connection. For people in remote villages and kids in schools around the world, scenes like these were not at all uncommon. You'd gather around one computer, wait for your turn to use it, but still, the ability to search for anything and find it was magical. See, people are inherently curious. We have a strong desire to learn. And in those early days, being able to search the web gave us the feeling of owning a computer that knows all the answer. It was tremendously empowering. On a personal level, all this was simply fascinating. You see, the image of a computer that knows all the answers was etched in my brain as a young boy. I grew up in India watching endless reruns of Star Trek on our black and white TV. And just like many of you, I just loved it. I was especially captivated by the computer on Starship Enterprise. Remember that? Captain Kirk and his crew would ask the computer anything, anytime, and the computer would understand them and answer. Computer this, computer that. Now, many of us were inspired by science fiction when we were little. Kids who dreamt of flying around in space in a spaceship became astronauts. Or children who dreamt of colonizing Mars became members of the Elon Musk fan club. I, on the other hand, dreamt of this Starship computer, and here I am today, the person responsible for building my dream for the entire world. Now, Star Trek was set in 23rd century, and I'm happy to report that my inspiration, Gene Roddenberry, got it wrong by a couple of centuries. We will have something better than that enterprise-class computer in this century in our lifetimes. In fact, that dream is becoming a reality right in front of our eyes. Consider this. Every day, 3.4 million people get their hands on a new smartphone. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire city of Madrid getting a new smartphone every day, 365 days a year. By some projections, the world would have over 5 billion people with internet access by 2020. Most of this access will happen on these beautiful devices that we carry in our pockets, in our purses, in our backpacks, or on our wrist. 5 billion people. From that humble farmer in Africa who just got his first smartphone, to that entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. From the Queen of England to that mother in India who is just trying to take care of her kids. Everyone will have access to the same information so that they can improve their own, their families, and their communities' lives. And they can do this simply by talking to a device that's always with them. It's like everyone can be Captain Kirk. Can you think of something more empowering than that? We truly are a privileged generation that we get to build this dream together. Now, this shift to mobile presents a beautiful new canvas for all of us to reinvent what we do, to innovate, and to delight users in new ways. So what do people want from their mobile devices? Of course, they want to communicate with other people, but at the same time, they want answers to all their questions, and they want to be kept in the know proactively without having to ask, with the information buried deep in their apps and services. We can build this future, but no one company can build it alone. It needs the amazing apps and services and content that you are producing. Together, we can paint a beautiful picture on this canvas, which will serve billions of people around the world. So let's start with answers. As you may imagine, giving answers to every question is something very core to our mission. A question is a beautiful thing. A question can take you anywhere. It opens a world of opportunities and creates new possibilities and connections. It takes us places we have never been before, literally and metaphorically. Sometimes it's just an act of curiosity, or, as I told in my story earlier, a matter of a parent's need. And yes, indeed, that's our daughter when she was 1 year old. Cute, very cute. Now, many times, an answer is just the beginning or part of a task. We also want to make it easy for people to get stuff done on their mobile phones. There's amazing useful content in apps. So we are working with many app developers around the world so that people can discover their apps and find answers in their apps with a single tap without having to fumble through a grid of apps or without having to wonder, should I search for it on the web or do I have an app for that? Together, you and us, we can build really great experiences when we marry the endless possibilities of your apps with the smarts we have built in Google and Android. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if people in your organizations are already working with my team to make this future possible. And I really want to thank you for all your support. But together, we can do even better. Even before people ask, we should be able to give them the information they need. To that end, we are building now cards just like these. People can summon these now cards in their Google app whenever they have a free moment so that they can catch up with stuff they care about. For example, when they are waiting for a train. And these now cards can also notify you when you absolutely need to know something. For example, if your next meeting is across town and traffic is unusually heavy, a now card can buzz you and say, hey, it's time to leave. Or if you've been searching for flights in one of the apps and the prices of that flight just dropped, a now card can send you a notification saying, hey, you want to do this. As I said a bit earlier, we truly are a privileged generation that we get to build this dream together. And with great privilege comes great responsibility. People as fortunate as you and me, we have a huge responsibility to bring this information revolution to everyone in the world. We have all experienced the joy of searching and learning on the web. And now we need to bring it to the next 5 billion people so that they can feel a little more empowered every day with the information they need, so that they can really focus on things that matter to them and open a world of possibilities with just a simple question. After 25 years of working in search, I'm more optimistic about the future than ever before. Thank you.